What do you need? Thank you for being patient.
I'm thirsty. I would like 8 glass of water, please.
You may have a glass of water. Thank you for telling me what you need. Would you like a glass of water too?
Yes.
Actually, it would be a very small cup of water.
I'm good.
I have very little cups today, don't I? Very little cups. There we go. Did you bring some new, you mentioned Jenny had pictures. Did you bring some new pictures, or we can just work on what we have?
You know what, I left them in the car, let me go to the car, I have the folder in the car.
Okay, if you want to, otherwise I can use some of these photos too. Did you spill? Did you accidentally spill? Would you like something to dry that off?
Yes.
I'd like a towel, please.
I will towel, please.
You may.
I will
Oh,
get
I'm sorry. I
will.
will get you a towel. There you go. Here, just wipe it up. I think you'll be okay. And you can just wipe the chair a little bit to dry it up. There. And then just go like this, wipe it. There, how's that? Would you like to sit in the other chair so it's drier?
Yes.
All right, let's move chairs and you may sit
Oh,
in
not.
the dry chairs.
I want to be
Here.
Thinking.
Let's move this over. And here, now you have a dry chair and I'll take the wet chair. How's that? Come on over here, Iasius. Can I help you with something? Do you want to lay down for a little bit? Your wet pants are bothering you, aren't they?
Wet. It's too wet to play.
It's too wet. Yeah, I know. Maybe Dad has
Go
a...
drink.
You spilled your drink on your pants so they feel wet. Shall we try to squeeze out the wetness? Let's try this. Let's try this. If we go like this and squeeze really hard, some of the moisture goes into the towel. Okay, now take it off. Take it off and we'll get another dry towel. Okay?
Ow! Whoa!
You'll be all right. Here, I'm gonna get you more towels, and you give me the wet towels, and you can put more dry towels on to squeeze out the water. There, here you go. Here, I'm gonna take this off now, because see, it got the wetness out. Now you can put some more towels there and go like this. If you press on it, it takes the wetness out of your jeans. There. Do you want to lay down for a little while till Dad gets back?
Dad's coming.
Do you want to lay down?
Where are you going?
All right. Dad'll be back. We were taking the wetness out of his pants because he spilled his water.
What?
You say
Okay.
here. Ow!
Down as you tell me?
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great. How are you going to start?
Tell a story. Once upon.
What's the name of your story?
The three little pigs.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm ready. You start out with once upon a time.
Once upon a time. There was a three little pigs. Out in the world to seek their fortunes.
out in the world to seek their fortunes. I think we're going to start another next page because you draw a picture there. Okay. So once upon a time,
there was a 3 little pigs out in the world to seek their fortunes.
okay. Then what?
The first little piggy met a woman with a bundle of the straw.
The first little piggy met
a woman, bundle of the straw.
with a bundle of the straw. Oh, good. And that's going to be another picture right there. This is page 3. Then what?
The first little piggy, he made it, and knocking at the door, Wolf said, little pig, let me come in.
Oh.
No, not by the hair of my chin. Then a huff and a puff and hops in.
Oh, so then the first little piggy, who did he meet? Who came? Did the first pig build his house first?
The first little piggy.
What did he do? The first little piggy.
He knocked in the door. He said, little pig, let me come in. Said little pig. No, not by the hair of my chin. Then I'll huff, then I'll puff, then I'll blow your house in.
He said, let me come in.
No, not by the hair of my chin.
Who said that?
Then I'll huff, then I'll puff, then I'll blow your house in.
No. Not by the hair of my chinny chin. And I'll huff and I'll puff, and then what?
Then I'll blow your house in.
Blow your house in. Oh, good. A little bit room for your picture there. Okay, what's happening next? What happens next in your story? Need some more paper. You're telling me a great story. So let's see. This was page 3. So we're on page 4. You want to see where you were?
The first little piggy, he knocking at the door. He said, let me come in. No, not by the hair of chinny chin. Then I'll huff, then I'll puff, then I'll blow your house in.
Oh, what happens next? That was the first little pig.
So he will, he huffed, he puffed, he huffed and he puffed, he blew his straw in.
So the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the straw in. Can you want to draw a picture right there of that?
Yes.
Sue, one thing I noticed is that he's not able to separate the phrases as to who said it.
I purposely wrote it
The way
in
he said it.
teaching moment.
Yes,
Go back
and then
to
you go
those.
back. That's
Yeah,
like
go
I
back.
figured you'd do that.
I didn't want to break his
Yes, no,
storyline.
no,
Because we'll do that later.
exactly, yeah.
Are you drawing the wolf blowing the house, the straw in? Wow. That's a pretty scary looking wolf. Look at that air coming out of his mouth.
This is Picasso here.
I love
I
it.
swear.
Oh, and what was he blowing in?
He's blowing straw in.
He's blowing straw in. Was it a bundle of straw or a house of straw? He answered that appropriately. Oh my gosh, look at that straw flying all over.
So does the wolf have hands or is that like a bandana? I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, I think those are his
Yeah,
paws.
okay. He's standing up on
Oh, look at that straw house, even had a window in it. I like your straw. Because he likes to draw, drawing pictures helps him to conceptualize.
Yeah. No, I mean, before he talked, I have a collection of his art hanging all over my house. It's so incredible. I mean, before he talked, then he stopped drawing. Like, we freaked out. For years, he did not draw nothing because he was trying to talk more
Yeah, they often will stop one thing.
and do the other.
And,
Now
yeah.
he's bringing both of them together again, which is really cool.
Great. And who's this? Who's this?
The 3 little pigs.
Are there 3 or are there 3 pigs there or is that the first pig? Nice straw. Are you putting 3 pigs in the house or just the first pig? There's a bundle of straw. Love it.
That's crazy.
What kind of day is it today?
Sun.
Oh, it's a sunny day. Oh, all right. You did great on that. Well, what happened after the wolf huffed and puffed and he blew the straw in? What happened next? Can you tell the story next? All right, you tell it and then you can draw. This is going to be page, you're going to have a great book here. Okay, we're on page 5. So after the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the straw in, what happened next?
The first little piggy met a man with a bundle of sticks.
The first one or the second one? Is this the first pig?
The second little piggy
Okay.
met a man with a bundle of sticks.
The second little piggy met a man with a bundle of sticks. You want to draw on that one now?
Now,
You seem to conceptualize that second one he caught when I said, is that the first pig or is it the second?
I think we've seen every YouTube video of the Three Little Pigs.
Mm-hmm.
He's really, I hate to use the word stemming on it, but he really wants us. He wants to say the Three Little Pigs. I can't move him from another story, but on the other hand, it's almost like he had wanted to watch as much as he can so that he can put it together. Because
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, the way
He's learning the language.
right. He's because we've seen all different versions, and he's actually drawn almost from all of them and put together his own version.
Good.
You know, which is I'm what he's doing now is just amazing because he would tell bits and pieces, but now he's actually telling the whole story with all the detail, with the exception of the pig said or the wolf said. But
That'll come.
that'll come, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's that man. Oh, I wonder what these sticks are going to look like. Oh, and it looks like he has a wagon. This was a good suggestion to move to this familiar, loved story.
You know,
Because then it gets you off track, and,
You know.
you knew better than I did
Well-
what to do to get them off track.
you know,
Most
no.
of-
The thing that works so well
And
is
I
that me and Jenny were very empathetic and charismatic in the sense that we kind of go with the moment
Yeah.
and shift with it. And that's the thing that we love about what you're doing is that you don't, you know, other therapists I've seen that you're stuck on trying to do one thing, and it's like, you know, you gotta kind of shift with the tide, and then, but then if you do that, you discover
Mhm,
this.
exactly.
You know,
Well, look at you, even have a windmill in there. I like that. With the sun. Oh, I like that. And look at all these sticks. Would you like to tell more, or would you like to stop? That is lovely. So why don't we read what you have here?
The second little piggy met a man with a bundle of sticks.
And look at those sticks.
Look at-
Wow.
Look at those sticks.
Okay, this is page 5. Are you ready to go on? Would you like to tell more of your story? So now, may I borrow this?
So, Millie.
Just a minute.
This-
You tell me the story and I'll write it fast. So this is page 6. So, after the second pig met a man with a bundle of sticks. What happened?
The second little piggy listens and knocking at the door. He said, little pig, let me come in. The little pig, no, not by the hair of my chin. Then I'll huff, then I'll blow your house in.
Okay, heard him knocking at the door. The second little pig heard a knocking at the door.
He said, little pig, let me come in. The little pig died. No, not by the hair of my chin. Then I'll huff, then I'll blow your house in.
What's next?
No, not by the hair of my chin. Then I'll huff, then I'll puff, then I'll blow your house in.
It's time for a picture.
Yes, if you don't know.
You want to draw down here so you have a little more space and it won't be on the words?
Another sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like
A little bigger piece.
You use the whole sheet of paper. You want to do another one with the whole sheet of paper?
If you
Oh.
want to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so then he was. Oh, okay. You are going to. Yeah, I tried to save you enough room. This was better. Yeah.
Okay, please.
don't have to write anything. I can write it up there. You can draw.
So the wolf, he huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed. At last he blew his stick's house in.
Okay. Do you want me to write that quickly for you? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So the wolf huffed and he puffed
And he huffed
he huffed and he puffed
and huffed
and huffed some more
and he last he blew his stick's house in.
and
At
last he blew and at last he blew
Blew
the
the stick's house.
sticks house
House. In.
in. Oh, okay.
You never cease to amaze me.
I know, that was good.
At last.
He was able to pick up the chain from that page
Yeah.
and go. He sure was huffing and puffing a lot. Look at those sticks, I think, are flying in all different directions.
There's even this little piggy song from this heavy metal band from the 80s.
Oh, really?
It's really funny. And I even copied it on cassette so you can hear it in the car.
Oh my gosh.
It's about the little pigs that live in LA.
Oh.
They're musicians. And one lives in a cardboard box in the city.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's pretty
And the
funny.
wolf.
I've never heard that.
Oh, it's very
I
funny.
bet it's
Oh my
hilarious.
God, it's,
Do you think they have something like that still on, or have anything like that on YouTube?
oh, that's where I found it.
That's where you found
Yeah,
it? I'm
if
gonna
you-
look for it.
Oh, yes. I will send you the link.
Okay.
I will send you the link.
I have to watch that. That
it's
sounds
hilarious.
hilarious.
And,
That poor second pig. He has sticks flying all over him.
and at the very end, Rambo comes and shoots the little pig with a machine gun. Not the little pig, but the wolf.
Oh.
The wolf gets it. With Rambo comes up, and they're all like animated figures. That was just so
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
It's crazy.
Gosh, it's getting that time already. We did well on this once we got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll go back. We're going to keep this version, but we'll kind of.
Yeah.
I want you to keep this together
Yes,
because then we
yes,
can
yes,
go
yes.
back
Yeah.
and clarify some things. Who's saying
Yeah.
it, and then
Well,
I could
do you have a
rewrite
folder
it.
for him? Do you want to keep it in your folder? I mean, I
Yeah,
can keep it
unless
in
you
my- I keep
unless
my-
you want to take it in yours, and if you want to work on
No,
drawing
I-
pictures here.
No, I just
Okay.
let him finish it here because this is like
Okay.
it's happening here as opposed to trying to
Okay. I love the air coming out of his mouth. Wow. That is so cool.
I'm so happy he's getting back his art because I know he'll make an incredible living just doing art if anything.
Yeah. I
His
should
art
show
is-
you there's
I'm just trying to find some kind of art teacher for him.
there is a young man in the Lansing area, he lives in Okemos,
Mhm.
and he sells these incredible calendars each year.
Uh-huh.
And he sells them, he has his own website, like eBay
Okay.
site, and I usually get them every year. And he is selling them, and they're just a very unique art form, they're really
Oh, wow.
cool.
Very cool.
So that's a possibility. Let's see if I have, I should have another folder.
All right,
Well, I know I have a different folder in the car, so.
No, I keep them in a folder. I just thought it'd be better, you know,
Yeah.
maybe if you
I'll
if you have a
finish
folder
this.
because
Yeah.
I don't want it to
I'm
get
gonna put it in something
left
separate.
or forgotten
Yeah.
or.
Okay, do you know what? You did wonderfully
I'd love
on
to show Jenny
this.
these.
These,
But
you
she'll be here
did
next week.
good. This is a wonderful job. Look at that. We're going to finish this story when you come back next time. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Well, would you like some M&Ms to take with you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get a special folder to keep these in, and you'll have your own Three Little Pigs story.
Three Little Pigs story.
All right.
I was wondering if we could film a little bit of explaining how to teach math for myself and the people at Not to Wash. I think you had mentioned if you can maybe just even like 10 minutes of giving us some insight as to how we can teach math to him, not the point math, but actually teach him to get the concepts of math. You mentioned, and I don't want to take your time doing it, but if you can maybe just give some a starting place, or any thoughts that you have, you know,
Well,
on
why
that.
don't we do that? Actually, you know, that's probably more the expertise of the math teacher than of me.
Right.
But, and it sounds like you had indicated they were using a touch math
The touch point thing. Yeah.
Or touch math, that's actually using objects to help him learn the set of
No,
something.
it's point math where you actually count the little points on the number, and so like 5 plus 5, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they associate points with the
But
number.
aren't they actually using tangible
No,
objects
they
to
weren't.
teach sets?
No, they weren't.
Oh, well, that was my understanding that they were doing that, but, well,
I mean, maybe could just conceptually, because he doesn't really have a math teacher. He has a special ed teacher who's teaching him math, who maybe for the first time is working with an autistic child. So, conceptually, is there anything you could say that could give a starting place for insight into?
well, I think they're actually doing it. He has to have a concept of set first.
Sets?
And, you know, how many items
Sets
make
of
a
5
set.
or sets of 10 or?
1 is a set of 1, 2
Okay.
is a set of 2, and actually manipulating objects. But I thought they were actually doing that already with the touch
No, they're
math
using
system.
Well, point math has nothing to do with objects. Point math is
Okay.
every number has points on it, and you count those points.
Right.
It's a real easy way to, if you have no
to
conceptual,
keep track of
yeah,
that.
to add numbers, and he can do adding using point math, but conceptually, I don't think he's.
Is he getting it?
Uh,
I mean, does he, when he's counting 1, 2, 3 with the point math, with the numbers on the
Yeah.
dots, is he getting, can he say if he counts to 5, then show me what that means and have him, you can have, oftentimes math teachers have blocks or
okay.
any type of cubes, objects, whatever. And then does he understand that that means 5 of a certain number of objects?
I'm not sure. I watched this one YouTube video where she was showing how to teach autistic kids math, and she had like 5 squares, 5 squares, 5 squares, and so it sets of 5, and she had little magnets, and then if you add like 2 plus 3, you take 2 magnets, put it in the squares, and then put 3 more magnets. So
Well, that would be that
then you see
idea.
5. Then you see 5.
Right.
And then you know that there's 2 plus 3 makes 5. And then you say like 7 plus 5, and you put
You would-
7 of those, and then you put 5 more.
That-
And
yeah.
then instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you go 5, 10, 11, 12. So you're always kind of seeing things in sets of 5s. And she says when you do that, then they can do it in their mind as easily as doing it. But
And that's actually using objects
that's using objects.
because
Exactly.
you're actually conceptualizing the counting
right.
to using objects.
Right.
That would be a way of testing him because he has to have a concept of set first.
Yes.
Before it makes sense to add 1 plus 1 or 2 plus 3.
Okay.
But it was my understanding with the program they're using that they are actually doing
They were doing
type of
point
thing.
point touch math, which is
okay.
just counting points on a number, and then just say 5 has 5 points associated with it, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if it's plus 6, then 6 has 6 points. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he's just going
I
into.
think that would be easy to adapt, just to combine if he isn't getting the concept of that, then to just add a tangible object, like you said.
Okay.
Magnets. It can be small cubes, anything. And then if he counted 5, and then you're doing 5 plus 2. Okay, we're going to add 2 of these objects or 2 magnets to a set of 2. Then you're going to say 5, 6, 7. That equals 7, just like you were explaining.
Right.
So, but I'm sure that the special ed teacher is doing that type of thing to.
Well, I think they're trying to get their bearings. Because I don't think he's worked with autistic children, and so I think we're just trying to find a framework. He in the IEP, he was just putting down as an objective for the year of just learning numbers 1 to 100, and just learning what they mean. Spending the whole year doing that, which I kind of disagreed and just felt we need to have more of an objective of learning to add and subtract by the end of the 4th grade here, to doing it in a way that he can actually do it like most kids do. As opposed to some kind of stopgap measure of doing this point math, where they're just doing a kind of a procedure. They don't know what it means, but they come up with a result.
Well, I think you could easily combine those procedures, and again, the math and the math teacher would be the expert in that area, not me. But just to help with a language conceptualization of it, I would, if they're not doing it already, I would add any type of objects that would be applicable at that time.
Would it be confusing to, and I thought it would be confusing to kind of keep pursuing this touch math?
I think I would adapt it to using objects.
So just take it and adapt it to using objects? But
you can still do that, but then add, as you're counting 1, 2, 3, you could be putting magnets, or you could be putting cubes on those, and then you would say, how many is in this set? We counted 7. There are 7 cubes. There are 7 magnets, or whatever you're using. And then if you're adding, then how many things are in this set? And then you would sometimes it helps to have something physically concrete to put to match as you're counting. Like putting M&Ms on something, or cubes, or magnets, or whatever your choice is of an object. And then you would say, we have 5 here, so you could write the number 5, and we have 2 here, you could have the number 2. 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7 equals 7. So you could count the way that you were mentioning by starting with how many were in the first set, and then just saying 5, and then adding 6,
so
7.
like with the point math, if 5 has 5 points on it, then he would count the 5 points, but then he would take 5 objects and put it next to it, or something.
Correct.
And then if he was plus 2, he would say count the point 2, but then put 2 objects with it.
Correct.
Would you do this like in sets of 10 or 5, or if you were putting them into like an array, because it seems, like when my brain kind of processes like 9 plus 14, I see that I need to bring 9 plus 4, I need to bring one of the numbers over to 9 to make an even set of 10, and then I got 3 left. So it makes 13. So that's how my brain does it.
Right.
It kind of sees
I think you would start probably with the numbers that didn't have something that would carry over right away. So you would make sure he knew what a set of 1 is, what a set of 2 is.
Okay.
And you could do 1 plus 2 equals 1, 2, 3 equals 3.
Okay.
And then you would have him count 3 objects, and you would see if the sets matched the number of objects that you put in the answer set.
Okay.
So do you see what I mean? You're actually matching to check
Okay.
the sets that you're adding to what you counted.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps at all, and probably the math teacher is, I would guess, is doing that type of thing if you see that the student isn't conceptualizing by just pointing.
Well, I think that they were thinking on working on numbers 1 to 100 to get a concept of numbers, like they do in first grade almost.
Yeah.
And then they were going to continue just doing point math over here on the side, just so he can be doing adding. But it seems to me that one has to shift away from that to, if you're working with concepts, then to be able to do objects and be able to get sets and things like that.
I think
but maybe
you can do it together.
Together, your idea is good, because if he's doing it this way, but then he's also doing it not only the points, but he's also putting the objects there, then he sees the objects related to the points, and it's not so much a how can I say, a rote stopgap way of doing math, but it's actually, he's actually getting an understanding of what it means. You know, that there's 5 things as
Usually
opposed to, yeah.
Oftentimes you just adapt. You can still use the same curriculum, but then you have to figure out ways to make it meaningful to the student.
Okay.
And you may supplement with
Okay.
things like that.
Got it. Okay.